Good morning, everybody. My name is Hercules, and welcome back to part 2 of the Wild update content. Let's just get straight into it, shall we? So we're going to start off by explaining something that I accidentally left out in the last video, where, as you may know, frogs of various different types, they'll all target baby slimes, but that means they'll also target baby magma cubes. And when a frog does kill a magma cube, it drops this item called a frog light, and each of the frog variants drops a different type of frog light. So the normal ones drop the ochre frog light, and the tropical frog drops the pearlescent frog light. There's also another type that you can get from the cold-blooded frog, which is the verdant frog light. But we're done with the frogs now. We've covered everything. Now it's time to explore some of the other content. Let's take a look at the Skulk stuff. So we're going to take a look at some of the Skulk items that we have. First up, we have a Skulk block, which produces this like little animation, if you can see it very closely. Like parts of it like brighten up and darken. So the ideal tool that you'll want for this is to mine this stuff is a hoe, but you actually need Silk Touch in order to get it. So if I were to put myself in survival mode, place the Skulk block, and break it, the only thing that comes out is a bit of experience. So basically Skulk blocks are like XP storage. The next block on the list, which isn't really a full block, is Skulk veins. Now, Skulk vein doesn't really do much on its own. It's basically like glow lichen or vines, where basically you can place it on the edges of a block. But there is one build hack that I saw with this. If you place a diamond block next to it and cover all 5 exposed sides, then it actually looks like a blue magma block. The next block up is a Skulk catalyst. Now, the Skulk catalyst is how you get the Skulk vein and Skulk blocks renewably. So if we were to place a skeleton right here, there we go. By killing a mob right next to the Skulk catalyst, it spreads the Skulk and stores the XP. You won't get any XP from the mob, but the XP is stored inside of the Skulk blocks. Now, there is a lot of blocks that the Skulk blocks replace. Now, I'm not sure all of the blocks, but I think it can replace most of them. And then last but not least, we have the Skulk sensor, which, if you move around, then it'll detect any noise that is made nearby. Now, the Skulk sensor is actually a redstone item where every time it detects a noise, it sends out a redstone signal. So essentially, you can make wireless redstone. And then last but not least, we have the Skulk Shrieker, where if placed right next to a Skulk sensor, it makes noise. And it also emits these sound wave particles, which also look pretty cool. And also, if you want to evade detecting a Skulk sensor, just sneak. By sneaking, you'll be able to not trigger these, which is very helpful to know, especially when you're in the deep dark biome. Because if you come across one of these things naturally, the Skulk sensor has a chance of summoning the Warden. Now, the Warden, unlike most mobs, don't actually trigger Skulk sensors, but what the Warden will do is it tracks towards any nearby mob that makes noise, until finally the Warden says he's had enough, and just rushes in to kill them. And essentially causing the Warden to spread more Skulk. And also, not to mention, the Warden has the most health out of any mob in the game. And also, not to mention, the amount of damage they do is also pretty scary. So if I go into survival mode, then yeah, the Warden will cause the player to have the darkness effect, which you can see right here. Now, there isn't like an effect symbol up to the top right, unlike most of the others. But if I start attacking, yeah, you do not want to attack a Warden head on. The Warden will one-shot you and basically kill you instantly. And also another thing to note about the Warden is that the Warden will stay immersed in liquids. And it has a ranged attack, as you can see. So we're going to try to attack the Warden again in survival to see how armor fares against him. Like, there's no way you can escape from him. He has a ranged attack. Yeah. There's no way you can dodge the sonic boom attack, because it, like, locks in. And also, there's a unique death message. Hercules was obliterated by a sonically charged shriek. And you may be wondering, how do you come across this strange Skulk stuff naturally? Well, in order to do that, we're gonna have to find the deep dark biome, which is composed mostly of Skulk. But we're gonna go one further than that. We're also gonna be trying to find an ancient city, and right below us is where we need to be. Although it appears most of it is submerged in a giant lava aquifer. Alright, so let's give ourselves night vision. So this is basically what Skulk looks like in mass. And naturally found Skulk shriekers you find, these will summon the Warden. But if you silk touch one and place it, then it won't actually be able to summon the Warden, because Skulk shriekers have a tag where if you see to the far right, you can see the tag "can summon" is true. This should do it. There he is. And that's how these things are summoned. But don't worry, if you don't make any noise whatsoever, the Warden will not be interested and just dig back underground. So you'll be safe from these guys. But you may be wondering, what about the deep dark city? Well, the first rule of thumb when it comes to exploring these structures, get rid of these. As long as you get rid of these Skulk shriekers, you will be safe. And also, not to mention, the loot is actually pretty worth it, to be fair. Like, this is a unique piece of loot which you can only find in ancient cities, which is the Swift Sneak enchantment. And the Swift Sneak enchantment is applied to the leggings. Basically, what this enchantment does is it allows you to sneak a little bit faster. Not to mention, the ancient cities also have decent loot altogether as well, like books, coal, soul torches. And yeah, if you try to break a Skulk shrieker while it's shrieking, the Warden will summon immediately. So we found some books, some amethyst shards, Skulk catalyst, a saddle. Now this is another bit of loot that's unique, which is an echo shard, which will cover what you can do with these in a little bit. You can find diamond hose, balls of enchanting, Skulk sensors, even some glow berries, but I imagine you'll have glow berries before you even try to explore one of these. Right, there we go. We have more echo shards. You can find cat in 13. You have another one right here. Ah, there we go, Swift Sneak 3. That's the highest tier of that enchant you can actually get. We have disc fragments, which will go into what that does. We also have potions of regeneration 2, which is very helpful. And you can also find max tier enchants like knockback 2. So I think what we should do is go over what the max tier Swift Sneak enchantment is capable of. So basically the difference is between Sniff Sneak 1 and Sniff Sneak 3 is the higher the enchant, the faster you can sneak. So yeah, this is normal walking speed, and this is sneaking with Swift Sneak 3 speed. It's the exact same. Also, something cool that you can actually find here is skeleton skulls, which I actually totally forgot about. So essentially, you can actually get these without having to actually use charged creepers. Ooh, candles. That's unique. The other bits of loot you can find other side here, actually, but I don't know what the actual chances are of finding other side in ancient cities. Ah, there we go. We have a compass. Now, guys, we can demonstrate what the echo shards can be used for. So if we put a compass, surround it with 8 echo shards, you get this item called a recovery compass. It'll point to where you last died. So as you can see, it is pointing in a direction, which was where I killed myself or got killed by a warden. But the thing is, with hardcore players, this item is useless because if you die in hardcore, then yeah, you lose your world forever. So let's talk about the disc fragments. If you put 9 of them in a crafting table like this, you can actually craft a music disc called 5. We'll get to see what it sounds like when you play in a jukebox in a little bit. But before we go any further, we have this right here, which is supposed to be like what the center of the ancient city is supposed to be, but it's submerged in a lava aquifer. But if we go into spectator mode, this is essentially what it is. It's a frame of this block called reinforced deep slate. Now, unfortunately, this is a block that you cannot obtain in survival mode. You can mine it, but it takes a very long time to mine. And this block looks like it could be directional like normal deep slate, but it's actually not. Now, my opinion on the reinforced deep slate, I really wish it was a block that you could obtain in survival mode and use it for building purposes, but unfortunately that is not the case. There is actually a secret underneath this place, which apparently is very easy to break into. Now, unfortunately, this is kind of a poor example as to what ancient city is supposed to be. But yeah, basically underneath is like a redstone testing facility of sorts, which I think was suggested by like a developer or a Hermitcraft player. If a Hermitcraft player did suggest this, I would 100% guess it was Mumbo. But yeah, that's the ancient city for you guys. I'm sorry I kind of like went through it pretty quickly, but you have to understand there's a lot that I need to cover about these structures, and this video is probably going to be pretty long, to be fair. So another cool thing that I actually forgot to mention about the Deep Dark is no hostile mobs actually spawn around here. So this is essentially like a mushroom island underground. But now, guys, I think it is time to finally listen to 5. Now, I will give you a little warning, it's a bit scary. Pretty ominous, isn't it? Sounds like a portal, and then there's like actual music. Chill, huh? Oh, spoke too soon. Lava. Amethyst. Silverfish. Skulk. Someone coughing, apparently. Soul sand. no idea what's going on now. Sounds like basalt. More soul sand. Explosion, maybe? Of some sort. Oh yeah, I forgot I had Swift Sneak. Well, there's the Warden. Sheesh, man. That got intense. Alright, I think it's nearing the end now. Right, so that is 5. Pretty scary. Similar to the other music discs. What was it? 11 and 13, yeah. So if a music disc is titled a number, then you know it's going to be scary. But a lot of Minecraft conspiracy theorists, a lot of them think that this right here is going to be the entrance to a portal. Now, I don't think that this actually is gonna be a thing, because I don't think Mojang are gonna plan adding a new dimension. Like, even they themselves said like they're not gonna add any more new dimensions to Minecraft. And plus, if they did add a deep dark dimension, like, imagine how many wardens you would have to face. Like, it just isn't worth it, in my opinion. Like, I don't think it's worth adding a deep dark dimension. It would be too hard, I would say, because I know Mojang is trying to make this game more noob friendly, although when I say that, the deep dark biome is kind of a bad example with the Warden and everything. Like, exploring these could take like hours. And yeah, see, look at that, we're even finding unique loot like notch apples. So exploring these places. But yeah, overall, I really like this structure. I've been looking to the Skulk and the Warden for a very long time. I think this is probably like one of my favorite additions overall to the game. It's very, very cool. So yeah, I think that is where we are going to wrap it up for today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys enjoyed, then please feel free to drop a like rating, because these videos take quite a lot of effort, and also subscribe. You don't have to subscribe, but I would really appreciate it. Have a fantastic rest of your day, guys, and I'll see you all in the next episode. See you guys later.